Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out today. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover. So before we get into these topics, do me a big favor. If you do end up enjoying this video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. It really does help with YouTube's algorithm. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. The first topic talks about the upcoming Last of Us Part 1 for PS5 and PC. More specifically, how it's going to take full advantage of the Dualsense features. I think this is one aspect of this game that anybody who's planning on picking it up, whether you've played it before or if it's going to be your first time experiencing the story of The Last of Us 1, I think people are looking forward to how this game's going to take advantage of this controller. So it says here, reading from PlayStation Universe, PlayStation Direct has posted up some new details on Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 1 for PS5, including what players can look forward to regarding the game's implementation of the DualSense controller. Unsurprisingly, The Last of Us Part 1 will feature the type of haptic feedback and adaptive trigger support that you would expect from an action-adventure game on PS5, filtering into both combat and the environment. So this is what it says. Haptic feedback. The DualSense wireless controller supports haptic feedback for every weapon and environmental effects, such as the sensation of falling rain. Adaptive triggers. Feel dynamic DualSense wireless controller trigger resistance for all of The Last of Us's iconic weapons, including Joel's revolver and Ellie's bow. So I wanted to let you guys know about this because, again, I do think this is something that any PS5 owner really looks forward to, specifically from games that are coming from PlayStation Studios. And you look at a studio like Naughty Dog and how talented they are, I think it's going to be exciting to see what they're able to do to kind of elevate the overall experience of The Last of Us with the DualSense controller. I say it all the time, anytime I play a game that takes full advantage of the DualSense controller, it really can be a game changer, and it adds an entire new layer to an experience that wouldn't have been there previously. And I feel like when you look at a game like The Last of Us, this is a game that has some incredibly intense moments. In fact, when I think about some of the most intense moments I've experienced playing a video game, The Last of Us does come to mind. And so having that added layer of immersion, I think, will just really benefit a game and a story like The Last of Us. So there you go. If you're somebody who's looking forward to playing The Last of Us Part 1, you can look forward to the ways that they're going to take advantage of the DualSense. Next up, continuing to talk about Naughty Dog, we have an update on the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, specifically the PC release date. It seems that it's been moved to December. So this is reading from WCCF Tech, where they say, when will PC players finally be able to get their hands on Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection? We've known right from the beginning that the collection would be coming to PC eventually, but Sony has been cagey about a release date. SteamDB initially indicated a July release date may be in the cards, but the Legacy of Thieves page was recently updated and it now lists an October date. But this article was actually updated shortly after it was posted, and it says, update, the release date has now been moved to December 30th, indicating that it's a placeholder. Still, it sounds like Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection will launch on PC before the year's end. So this is something I've been seeing for the past couple of months, where there seems to be an internal release date, or at least a release date that's set on SteamDB, and it's getting moved around. So you know, we'll have to just keep our eye on this and see when they're planning on releasing it. It's going to be interesting to see how this performs on PC. It seems like every time Sony releases one of their games onto PC, it does pretty well, and I have a feeling that the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection will be no different. We're moving on to the next topic, though, which talks about some interesting leaks and rumors regarding PlayStation Plus. First up, we have the July 2022 lineup leaking out, and this is coming from a source that has been leaking out the PlayStation Plus lineups on a monthly basis, and they've been getting it correct every month. It says here, reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, PS Plus Essential July 2022 games lineup was leaked. We are confident about this one because it comes from the same DLabs user, Billy Bilcon, who has been accurately leaking the service's monthly lineup for eons now. It looks like the most basic of the revamped service is due to receive Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, The Dark Pictures Anthology, Man of Medan, and Arcadegeddon. And so looking at this lineup, it's pretty good, I think. I think a game like Crash Bandicoot 4 is definitely something that PlayStation owners will be very interested in. You have the Dark Pictures anthology, Man of Medan. I don't know much about this, so I'm not sure if this is like a game that's considered really good or not. But then you have Arcadegeddon, which from what I've heard from people is actually a really fun game, and it's something that I think kind of rounds out this month of PlayStation Plus titles to make it pretty good. And I think it's a good sign overall, because people are a little bit worried that now that Sony has PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium to worry about, maybe they're not really going to care so much about the essential lineup. But if this is anything to go by, I think it's looking like Sony is going to continue to try to deliver some pretty good games on a monthly basis. At least that's the hope. So let me know if you plan on playing any of these games or trying them out. But continuing to talk about PlayStation Plus, we're talking about Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart specifically, and how it may be joining PlayStation Plus Extra. Again, from PlayStation Lifestyle, it says here, players in some countries have spotted a promotional image suggesting that Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart PS Plus entry is on its way. The screenshot that's being circulated on Reddit and Twitter doesn't make it clear if players are getting the full game or just a time trial. The image in question shows that the player is a PS Plus Premium user, considering PS Plus Extra users haven't spotted this one yet, and time trials are specifically a PS Plus Premium feature. Some fans have decided to keep their expectations in check and have assumed that we're looking at an upcoming timed trial. And so this was something that I did see multiple people talking about, and it is interesting because you do have to wonder if a game like Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is next to join PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. But yeah, it could just end up being a trial. I mean, when you think about a game like Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, it's one of these titles where I feel like it can probably sell well over a long period of time, because it's considered like a showpiece title for the PS5. This is one of those games that I feel like people are more inclined to just kind of pick up alongside a PS5 when they buy one. So for that reason, I could see Sony maybe waiting to put this into PlayStation Plus Extra and maybe just giving it a trial. But at the same time, when you look at some of the titles that Sony has already put into PlayStation Plus Extra, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, Death Stranding Director's Cut, Demon's Souls, Miles Morales, right? I mean, Returnal, it seems like Rift Apart is pretty much next in line. And something else that I think is worth pointing out here is if Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart does join PS Plus Extra, we may begin to see a bit of a pattern unfolding where Sony is going to give some of these bigger AAA titles about a year to just be sold as a standalone product that won't be part of PlayStation Plus. And after that year mark, they might feel, depending on how it's selling, very comfortable adding it to their PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium library. So that's something we're going to want to keep an eye on. So you let me know your thoughts about that down below. Next up, we're talking briefly again about Final Fantasy 16. There is more information here on the game. Again, from PlayStation Lifestyle, it says, good news, Final Fantasy 16's setting and accents will match, ensuring that players don't complain about immersion or lack thereof when they hear American accents while running around in Final Fantasy Medieval Europe. Square Enix's Naoki Yoshida has confirmed that the upcoming game will only feature British accents. And so this is exactly what Naoki Yoshida had to say. Quote, I think what we equate as medieval fantasy equals Europe would probably be best represented by The Lord of the Rings. We made sure not to include any American accents. We decided to do this to prevent Americans from playing the game and getting mad by saying something like, I was looking forward to playing a game set in fantasy medieval Europe, but why are they speaking American English? To prevent this, we made sure all the dialogue was recorded using British English, end quote. So this was pretty interesting to me, and I think it's probably a good move. I mean, it will definitely help with immersion, but I think the reasoning's kind of funny, like just imagining they're getting all these complaints from American players being like, what's going on here? This is wrong. This is breaking my immersion. I just can't help but laugh a little bit, but clearly this is something they took seriously to the point where they're coming out here and they're making it known that, yeah, we made sure that this is going to be accurate. So let me know what you think about that. The final topic I have for you talks about Hogwarts Legacy. This is a big multi-platform title that is aligned with PlayStation that as of right now is still set to release at the end of this year. And this may be a good sign that we should be getting a release date relatively soon. From WCCF Tech, the title reads Hogwarts Legacy pre-order and special edition bonuses to include 72 hours early access. This is still a rumor, but it says here, among the pre-order and special edition bonuses for Hogwarts Legacy will be 72 hours early access to the game, according to a recent discovery. As discovered by Reddit user Opalment, the Hogwarts Legacy official website's code includes references to early DLC packs and pre-order bonuses that have yet to be officially announced. Digital only and digital deluxe only labels are also present in the code, but it is impossible to know as of now to which of these bonuses they apply, not counting the steel case for obvious reasons, and possibly the floating ancient magic wand with book, which sounds like a physical item and not an in-game one. So Hogwarts Legacy is among the most anticipated games releasing this year on consoles and PC. The game will be an open-world action roleplay game that will allow players to experience the world introduced by the Harry Potter books like never before. And so I'm sure many of you tuned into the State of Play that covered Hogwarts Legacy earlier this year, and that seems to have done really well for both Sony and Warner Brothers. I think it's like close to 10 million views or something like that. And so as you can see, this is a game that many people are very excited about, and I imagine that quite a few people are going to be pre-ordering this game or getting whatever edition of the game they have to get 72 hours early access. So there's your update on Hogwarts Legacy. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, if you did, leave it a like. Leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.